I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Here's the Wall Street Business Report.
Stocks closed higher on Wall Street after an afternoon push left major indexes just below their recent records. The S&P 500 rose 0.4% after drifting between small gains and losses for much of the day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added 0.3%. The Nasdaq Composite rose 0.4%. Boeing rose 3.5% after Korean Air announced a $50 billion deal with the company that includes buying more than 100 aircraft. Dish Network parent EchoStar surged 70.2% after AT&T said it will buy some of its wireless spectrum licenses in a $23 billion deal. The Dow higher 135 points to close at 45,418. The Nasdaq gained 95 to 21,544. The S&P added 26 to 6465. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
News and analysis at townhall.com.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. A nice cool evening with a low temperature of 62. Tomorrow we are glorious. Mostly sunshine-filled skies, the high temperature of 84. Thursday, few clouds do roll in, while on Friday we have our best chance of showers, a 30% opportunity we get some afternoon storms. We'll stay in the 80s as our high temperatures for the rest of the week. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
This is The Point.
Make the point.
This is Sports Talk with Phil Kornblut and Chris Bergen. Sports Talk is heard across the state on radio affiliates of the Sports Talk Media Network and is streaming live on SportsTalkSC.com, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to call in is 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now, here are Phil and Chris with tonight's edition of Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. It's Sports Talk Media Network. Great to be with you once again on this first Talking Tuesday of the football season as we roll into the opening weekend. Phil Kornblut with you tonight. One final stop on the Palmetto Pigskin Tour. We come to you from Allen University, and nothing says Palmetto Pigskin Tour, nothing says it's time for football than doing the show from here at Allen inside the weight room. We are inside their weight room. I got a brief workout in when I got back from Clemson, set a couple of school records in the deadlift because they had to lift me up because I was dead after I lifted some weights.
How's it smell in there?
It smells great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's the smell of football, Plummer. It's the smell of football season. So we're happy to be here. The Yellow Jackets will be joining us here. We're going to move them up a little bit because they practice so early. They practice at 5:30 in the morning. So Coach Cedric Pearl, who gets up very early in the morning, wanted to move it up a little bit. I agreed with that. Thought that was a good idea. So we moved them up to 6:35. We'll have Coach Pearl and their quarterback, Jameer Dismukes, who's an excellent quarterback. He's been nominated for some national awards coming off of last season. We'll talk more about him. And also defensive lineman Jaheim Pittman will be here. So looking forward to having the Allen Yellow Jackets with us here, coming off a record of 2-8 last season and 1-7 in the league. More on them, of course, coming up when they join us. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to hear from Dabo Swinney from his press conference today at Clemson. as he previewed the season opening game against LSU. We'll let you hear some of his major comments, most important comments, but obviously a lot of praise for LSU, a lot of praise for his team. Says his team is healthy, ready to go. Very pleased with how they handled things in training camp, and feels like they're on target for hitting this season opener the right way. You know, Clemson did not have a good season opener last year against Georgia in Atlanta, though Dabo will remind you that was a very close game at halftime, and Georgia took advantage of some things in the second half and pulled away to a solid win. And so the Tigers are looking for a much better start to the season this time around, and they will hope to get that at home against a very good LSU team by all accounts. So talk more about the matchups as we go through the week, as we have more coaches and experts on with us. And but Dabo Swinney, ready to go with this season to see what the Tigers have, and also realizes no matter what happens, you're not winning the national championship on August 30th, and you're not losing it either. So we'll bring you those comments coming up here very shortly. Then the folks from Allen will be here. 7:05, Gary Stoken from Atlanta, from the Aflac Kickoff Classic, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, of course, one of two games, the other being Syracuse and Tennessee. Tennessee today, by the way, gave their coach, Josh Heupel, a contract extension that will keep him with the Vols for an extended period of time. Tell you more about that coming up. Doubleheader action coming up in Atlanta, and so we'll talk with Gary about that. Of course, it's Darlington week here in South Carolina and around the country, as it's the Cookout Southern 500 coming up this Sunday, plus a truck race on Saturday. So doubleheader weekend action at Darlington. Josh Harris, president of, will join us at 7:30. So we got a lot on our table tonight. Chris Bergen is not with us. He's over at Coastal Carolina tonight, doing some things with the Chanticleers. Time permitting, we'll work in some phone calls. Phone number 888-898-2525. That is the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number by which you can reach us here on Sports Talk. And also you can send us a text message at 803-900. 4847, 803-900, 4847. So, a lot of things happening, a lot of news notes to catch you up on. So I want to hit those up first before we hear from Dabo Swinney. Some of the top news stories today, and this would include, of course, some movement in the NFL as teams are getting their rosters down to the 53-man limit or the 59-man limit when you include the 6 who will be on the practice squad. So some notes here and there about that and other things. No depth chart in the South Carolina game notes released today. It seems to be the thing this week. No depth chart in the Clemson pregame notes for LSU either. The Panthers, among their veteran cuts today, Hunter Renfrow, the former Clemson star, the native of Socastee. So he is released as a vested veteran. Is this the end of the road for Hunter Renfrow? I mean, apparently by reports from people who were covering camp, he was very, very good. He was very, very good in camp. I got to believe somebody will pick him up. The Chargers cut former Clemson quarterback DJ Uyunglele. Meantime, the Saints announced that Spencer Rattler, the former South Carolina quarterback, will be their starting quarterback going into this season. How about that story? Spencer Rattler, from his days at Oklahoma, from a starter to losing his job to transferring to South Carolina to having a really had a good couple of years at South Carolina, and especially the latter part of his last year. He goes into New Orleans as a draft pick, and bides his time last season. Gets the benefit of the starting quarterback being injured, and did they cut him or did he retire? I think he retired. Yeah, I think he retired. So they opened the door for him, and now he wins the job. And this is something that was expected of him maybe, 10 years ago 8 years ago when he was being developed that he would be a starting quarterback in the NFL, and now he is as the starting quarterback for the Saints. Of course, he's got a former Gamecock teammate making the team as well in punter Kai Kroger, and of course they're hoping that they see more Rattler and less Kroger. You don't want to see your punter all that much. The Williams-Brice renovation plan got the final state approval today as A.D. Jeremiah Donati put out a post about the Joint Board Review Committee and the State Physical Accountability Authority of the state of South Carolina. They approved the $350 million Williams-Brice Stadium redevelopment project. This represents the final approval before the first phase of construction begins after this season. Okay, so they got that done, and that will be moving forward as soon as the season is over. Mentioned Josh Heupel signed that contract extension with Tennessee. That'll go through 2030. Alabama and West Virginia cancel home-and-home series in the 26-27 season, or seasons. This according to On3 Sports. With the SEC's move to 9 league games, West Virginia allowed Alabama out of the series and did not require a buyout. So Alabama and West Virginia, that'd be an interesting home-and-home series, especially with Rich Rodriguez now in control at West Virginia. That added some spice to that, but that is not going to happen now. Of course, I mean, the SEC is requiring – I don't know what Alabama's schedules look like in 26-27. They have to have a Power 4 opponent. I wonder if they already have another Power 4 opponent on their schedule. I'll have to look that up. Outside the league, of course. Have to have another one. And from Virginia Tech, linebacker team captain Caleb Woodson charged with a DWI on Saturday, according to online court records. Listed as a Class 1 misdemeanor offense. He has a September 9 court date. Today at his press conference, coach at Virginia Tech, I don't think he really addressed that with any direct information about plans related to the South Carolina game and that player, so that remains to be seen. Clemson's game notes, the Tigers will have 25 of their coaches and analysts on the sideline and 13 in the booth. That's 38 coaches and analysts. That's position coaches, their assistants, the analysts. So 25 of their coaches and analysts on the sideline and 13 in the booth. That's a lot of coaches from where they used to be. Clemson tight end Ian Schifflin issued a statement today saying that his DUI charge has been dismissed. According to a statement released through his lawyers, he accepted a traffic ticket for reckless driving. He will miss the Clemson home opener. He says he is determined to learn from this experience. And with that, we'll roll to the break, and on the other side, we'll hear from Dabo Swinney as he talks about his team coming out of fall camp and as they're getting ready for their opener against LSU, where the Tigers are looking the best, where they've made some adjustments, his opinion of the LSU team they're going to face on Saturday night in Death Valley. All that is coming up. And then at 6:35, we'll be joined by the folks here at Allen University as we wrap up the Palmetto Pigskin Tour. Coach Cedric Pearl and players will join us after the break at the bottom of this hour. We'll be back in just a moment.
75 years. One reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
I'm attorney Jim Corbett. That's the sound of a big hit on you and your car or truck. I've been an attorney for more than 30 years, helping people who get injured in car wrecks and truck wrecks. If you have serious injuries, call Jim Corbett, 803-765-2968, or email me at jim@jimcorbettattorney.com. That's CORBETT. I don't get paid unless I recover for you. Jim Corbett Attorney, for your best recovery from a big hit, 803-765-2968, or jim@jimcorbettattorney.com.
Traveling can be the worst, especially when you can't find your favorite show. Well, don't worry. We've got the perfect way to keep up with everything happening in the Palmetto State when you're away from home. Just pull up the Chief Sports app on your mobile device, and you can listen live to Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network.
So the next time you can't find us on one of our great radio affiliates, just log on to the Chief Sports app, the best way to stay connected with the Sports Talk Media Network.
There's a lot of things we take for granted in our lives. Your home's AC will run cool. Your drive-through coffee will be hot. And the car will start when it's time to take your kids to school. It's when things don't go as planned that you start thinking about who to call and where to turn. The good thing is, you can prepare for life's most difficult days by calling the Larry Lucas Agency today. Larry is a State Farm agent that has been taking care of people across South Carolina for more than 2 decades. You probably have insurance, but switching is easy, and bundling can save you hundreds or more. Most importantly, the Larry Lucas Agency can help you choose the protection you want at the price you want. All backed by South Carolina's #1 home and auto insurance company. Visit LarryLucasAgency.com today or give Larry a call at 803-799-1998. Like a good neighbor, Larry Lucas State Farm is there.
One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Okay, it's a Talking Tuesday here on Sports Talk, brought to you by Touchstone Energy Cooperatives. Find your co-op at touchstoneenergy.com. Time to hear from Dabo Sweeney from up at Clemson. Here's the Tigers head man.
Always to kick the season off, and this time next Tuesday we'll have a result, and we'll be on to the next one. But getting the process started is always a lot of fun. You know, it's a ton of work that goes into just getting to this moment right here. And, you know, I'm proud of our team and how they've worked since January. But in particular, our team and our staff the last 6 or 7 weeks, I mean, there's a lot that goes into getting to this point. And they've done a great job. And, you know, now we got to go play a ball game, see where we are, and go from there. And it's going to be exciting. Excited to be at home. I know it's going to be an amazing environment. The team had a chance to get out there last night under the lights, and there's just something special about game week. It doesn't matter if you're a pee-wee team or a senior in high school, or Aaron Rodgers that's 50. When you wake up and it's game week, it's like it's game week. I mean, and that's everybody. If this is what you do for a living and you cover this sport, y'all probably all said the same thing this week. Like, it's game week. Like, let's go. All right, this is what we signed up to do. All right, this is it's awesome. So man, I love it, and just looking forward to watching our team play and compete. With everything they got a great matchup, obviously. With LSU coming in here, and Coach Kelly is, his track record is, easy to look up. I mean, he's got a long track record of winning for a long time, so you don't get lucky and have jobs like LSU. He's a great coach, and has his team really well positioned to have a great year. This is a very talented football team on both sides of the ball. Similar to us in a lot of ways, in that they've got elite quarterback play, elite skill, and they got dudes in the trenches on both sides. So it's a very similar team as far as just the makeup. So that's why it's a top 10 matchup, and I don't have any doubt it's going to be one heck of a game. Quarterback's a really good player. He's a leader. He's tough. Got a lot of respect for him. I've never met him, but man, I got a ton of respect for this kid. He's a guy that has stayed and he's developed, and now he's on his way to being a high draft pick. But he's got a lot of poise. He's got great instincts, really good pocket awareness. He's got big time arm talent. He's tough, and they've put a good group together up front. They had some guys that graduate and move on, so they went and brought in some really good players, some experienced guys, and got big time skill. They got guys that can take the top off. They got guys that can complement their run game with the screen game and getting the ball in space and breaking tackles. They got 0 and 1 are two really compact physical runners. 3 is a rocket ship. 4, I think, is number 4, kid coming over from Oklahoma. He's a big-bodied receiver. He'll be the biggest guy out there. So, 29 is as good as we'll probably see. I mean, he's a very, very, very good back. He is strong. He's powerful. He breaks tackles. He's has the speed to take it the distance. They do a good job of involving him in the run game. So, do a nice job in all areas. They really don't, in my opinion, have any weaknesses on the offensive side of the ball. They equip the quarterback to make them right, and most of the time he does that. And then over on the defensive side, elite linebacker play. They've got a lot of experience there. I think probably as good a corners as we'll see all year. Number 1 is back. He's a great player, got length, and then they went and got the kid from Virginia Tech who we've seen, know a lot about him. He's a great player. Safeties are really good players, and then they're stout up front. The guys that are back from last year, good players, and they went and added, a few guys. So, got the kid from Florida State who we've played against. They got the kid from Florida who's a really good physical player as well, coming off the edge. So, I mean, it's just, again, I think a really good complete team, but defensively, all 3 levels, they got dudes, and I think that Coach Kelly has stated this is, he thinks his best defense that he's had and maybe his best team, and I can see why when you really study these guys. So should be a heck of a matchup, and from a health standpoint, we're in a good spot. Been very fortunate to this point, and hopefully it stays that way. We got tough practice today. Tuesday's a tough day. Tough day tomorrow as well. So a couple of days we gotta get through, but as we sit right now, we're in a good spot from an injury standpoint, going into the season. So with that, I'll take your questions.
Coach, what do you think about LSU, Coach Kelly kind of heightening the emphasis on the opener as opposed to other big openers that they've had in recent years, putting the tiger ball up in their weight room?
Yeah, I don't have any thoughts either way. I mean, everybody, I can't put myself in his team room, locker room. Everybody has their, own way as far as what you got to do in whatever moment, whatever team that you're coaching at that particular time. He's done it a long time, so whatever he wants to do, I'll leave it up to him.
Is Walker Park seat fully cleared, or is it green or yellow? Or?
He's back in practice, so he's doing good.
How is Jay Haynes continue to progress?
He's coming. He's not going to play this week, but he's right there. I mean, we knew going in he would probably. He's been in green, so they just haven't. Him and Ari are 2 guys that have been in green really all camp. So next step is for them fully back into practice as far as contact. So they're both close, and they're just both coming off pretty good knee injuries, and they just want to be, really cautious with those guys before we really put them out there. So they're both, again, doing really well, and excited for them to fully be activated at some point soon.
Speaking of Haynes, would you say that Gideon and Keith and Easy are kind of on the same footing behind Adam Randall?
I mean, we got to go into the games, and we'll see where it's at. But I think that all those, we have confidence in all those guys. But Adam will start it off for us, and we'll see how it all shapes out as we get some live play. But we have confidence in all those guys, and same with Jay when he gets back.
Elijah missed spring practice. Elijah Thurman, what did you see out of him, I guess, over the last month, and how comfortable are you with his versatility and being able to possibly go in there at right guard in a big moment?
Man, I mean, we saw it last year. I mean, he had to go in. What was the first series of the Virginia Tech game, I think? First series, true freshman. And oh, by the way, they got the leading sack guy in America. I can't remember that guy's name, but he was leading the nation in sacks. And you got a true freshman out there, and he had a heck of a game. And then obviously the next game he gets hurt on the first play at Pitt. But we got a ton of confidence in Elijah. He's had a great camp. He has, and we knew that when we signed him. What we didn't know, we hoped, but we didn't really know. You have to, you have to confirm things once you start coaching guys. But just how smart of a football player he is.
Okay, Dabo Sweeney from earlier today. All of it's up on our website, SportsTalkSC.com. You can check it out there. And I would say that, the Walker Park situation continues to be. He kind of chuckled at the question from Chappell Fowler. Chappell always asks the questions about the guys in certain colored jerseys representing their health, and they have a little give and take with one another on that regularly. But, I mean, you do have to be concerned. Parks has had an ankle that's been a problem. Now he's had a knee that's been a problem. And you just have to wonder about how long, if he starts, how long he'll be able to go and how effective he might be. Could be fine, could work out just great, not have an issue, but it's something they're going to have to be concerned about. But as you heard him say, Elijah Thurman is a guy that they can plug in. He believes you can plug him in anywhere on the offensive line. And, of course, they have Harris Sewell as well to put in there. So they've got players ready to go, but you hate to lose a starter. Okay, back here at Allen in a moment.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast, a nice cool evening with a low temperature of 62. Tomorrow we are glorious, mostly sunshine-filled skies, the high temperature of 84. Thursday, few clouds do roll in, while on Friday we have our best chance of showers, a 30% opportunity we get some afternoon storms. We'll stay in the 80s as our high temperatures for the rest of the week. I'm Cal Moss with your on-point local weather.
What's better than getting the best Wagyu and Hereford beef anywhere in these parts and getting it delivered to your door? How about knowing you're still supporting local farmers in Saluda over at H&J Cattle, where tradition meets quality? Visit HandJCattle.com. Place your order for $50 or more, get free delivery in Richland or Lexington County. Plus, Point listeners get 10% off your order. Enter keyword The Point as one word for your discount. HandJCattle.com.
Islands. With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook's lawyer says she'll sue President Trump's administration to try to prevent him from firing her. Longtime Washington attorney Abby Lowell said Tuesday that Trump has no authority to remove Cook. The president said Monday he was removing Cook because of allegations she committed mortgage fraud. Cook was appointed by Democratic President Joe Biden in 2022. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and other top Democrats are warning President Trump to stay out of the cities they run. Trump has suggested sending federal troops to cities like Chicago and Baltimore, claiming violence is out of control. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 135 points, the Nasdaq rose 94. More details at srnnews.com.
When your pipes panic,
Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning steps right in, fast and friendly. Josh and his team aren't just fixing leaks, they're restoring your peace of mind. This is when you're at your most vulnerable. You got a problem, you need a solution. They're not coming out to upsell you or talk you into something new this or new that. You'll appreciate their process. They'll tell you what needs to get done and what it'll cost before they ever even bring in their tools to start the work. They're locally owned, which unfortunately is no longer the norm in the Midlands. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning will treat every home like their own. They've done work for me, for my brother, countless numbers of Point listeners. Dial 799-2222 or visit franklinplumbing.sc.com and you tell them Kev from The Point sent you. You will experience plumbing that's more than just a fix. It's a solution from people who care about their work and stand by it. When you need them, please don't panic. Just call Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, 799-2222.
Dave Ramsey here. Do you want your money to work for you rather than you working for your money? Go see my friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union. They're not a mega bank and have been serving the Midlands since 1936, offering good old-fashioned customer service and free services. They'll look out for your financial well-being. With 14 locations, check them out today at palmettocitizens.org. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Sweet from Sweet Comfort Services HVAC. We're locally owned and operated, which really helps keep pricing reasonable. With lower overhead and more accountability, we stand by the systems we install, our repairs, and our parts. Most nationally owned companies know they have plenty of work this time of year when it's really hot. We'll treat you great no matter what time of year it is. Call Sweet Comfort Services HVAC at 803-331-8143. That's 803-331-8143.
Yo, did you see these shirts we made for the party? They're fire.
I still can't believe we got those printed so fast. Where did we even get them done again?
Bardak Design. They're right on campus by the fairgrounds. Literally the best spot to get custom tees. You can't beat their prices, and can you believe how great they came out?
Oh yeah, they're super chill about designs. You can bring your own or they'll help you out. And it's also affordable.
Plus the turnaround. Lightning fast. They are super cool. And before I knew it, I had my swag.
Exactly. Bardak Design, 1334 Rosewood, in the heart of Carolina student housing. If you want custom gear for your group or event, they're the go-to. Seriously, it's where all the super cool designs happen.
Go see them or give them a call. 254-7940. Every time we've needed them, Bardak on Rosewood comes through with top-notch merch.
Bardak Design, 1334 Rosewood Drive. Custom tees, just a few steps from the heart of campus. Call 254-7940. That's 254-7940.
Welcome back, everybody, at Sports Talk here on the Sports Talk Media Network. And, of course, we're on the Palmetto Pigskin Tour tonight at Allen University, presented by Palmetto Sports Connections. Visit that website, discover PalmettoSportsConnections.com. This is our final stop, and why not come to the best to finish things out? We're here in downtown Columbia at Allen University. Been here every year since they've restarted their football program. It's the little engine that could. They keep fighting and trying to get it done, and Coach Cedric Pearl is with us going into year number 2 after his time at Alabama A&M. 2-8 last year, 1-7 in the league. Coach, I know those numbers don't look all that shiny, but you look at the season and you were closer to being much better than that. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. Glad to be here, too. Excited about this season. And, yes, last year was close, but no cigar, as they say.
Yeah.
We lost about 4 or 5 games by less than 6 points, in overtime to the school across the street. So although the record was 2-8, the guys kept fighting. That's what I really liked. We played a 60-minute ball game every Saturday. So those are the positives we took away into spring and then coming into this year.
So when you analyzed last year, what were the little things that kept you from getting over the hump and winning some of those close games?
Well, just like anything, experience. Experience is the biggest teacher. Last year, Jameer Dismute, our starting quarterback, won the job in August, but it was the first time. He was his first time starting quarterback in college in his career. And we had a lot of guys like that, via the transfer portal. We transferred in a lot of guys that may have been sophomores or junior, on the roster, but may have been their first time actually getting playing experience. And a lot of times, you need to see things more than once. You be able to make a better decision if you understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So sometimes you get into situations, and the next time you make a better decision, and you're more prepared. So I think those were the little things that kept us from getting over the hump last year.
Is Jameer Dismukes maybe the most unheralded, high-quality quarterback in the state of South Carolina?
I think he is, obviously.
Yeah.
Especially here in Columbus, the first name is going to be Lenore Sellers. We understand that across the street. He had an outstanding year.
Yeah.
He really, really did. But I believe in Jameer Dismukes. I tell you that. And I'll put him up against anybody.
What do you like about him as a quarterback besides the fact that apparently he throws it really well?
Understanding the system now. He can get us into the right play here in camp. And that's what I've been looking for. And that's the growth. And that's what I'm talking about through the experience. By the middle of toward the end of last season, he was really got comfortable in the system, and it even shows in the statistics when you look those up as the year progressed. So those are the things I like about him, man. He continues to get better every day. He works extremely hard. Smart young man, knows the offense.
1,832 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, had 10 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 162.
Yeah, very efficient. He's that's what I'm saying. 10 turnovers. You said 10 touchdowns?
I said 19 touchdowns.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
He does a good job with the ball, man. Very explosive, too. He's a dual-threat quarterback, kind of what we want in our system. So if it's not there in the air, he'll definitely tuck it and run it. So he presents a challenge to the defense on Saturdays.
Strong arm?
Decent arm. Not extremely strong, but strong enough. I would say that.
How about the skill positions around him?
We've gotten much better. I think with the addition of Marcus Fleming, who will be playing with us this season, former player at Nebraska. Also, Nanders Lawrence, who was finished second in the country in kickoff returns last year in Division II, and also had a very good year. Our leading receiver as well. He's coming back, and Caleb Cummins, one of our other leading receiver, and starting tailback and tight end. So we feel really good about our offense, the guys we have returning.
How'd you reel a guy in from Nebraska?
Well, he was from via Miami, and it was just a relationship I had with some people that knew him, and we connected and felt like Allen was the best place for him. So that's how we got him here.
Outstanding. Up front, offensive line, is it a veteran group, or have you had to piece some things together this offseason?
Well, we lost 2 seniors last year. That graduated, Terrence Jarrett and Jeff. Oh Lord, I forget Jeff's last name, but he's out of Atlanta. He was our starting left tackle, and those 2 guys graduated. And returning was our starting freshman center from Augusta last year, Chance Bush. Started all 10 games as a true freshman. Jawan Sanders transferred in and started all 10 games as a sophomore, but like I was saying, it was his first year as a starter. So both of those guys are back, and they understand the system. Now we plug 3 transfers in from Alcorn State, and we feel really good about those guys up front.
So you feel pretty solid, feel like you're pretty solid up front.
Yes, sir.
Offensively.
Yes, sir.
You averaged 26 points per game last year. I mean, offense really wasn't a problem from that standpoint.
Well, it really wasn't, but like I told the guy, 33 points a game won the league. So we got to average 35 this year. So we got to find those 9 points.
One more touchdown than a field goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Those 9 points, that's been kind of our mantra here in camp. We got to find those 9 points because 35 points is what it's going to take.
Defense. Now, on the opposite side, you want to give up much fewer points than what you did last year.
Exactly.
So how do you look on that side of the ball?
Much improved again. I think where we targeted in recruiting, we brought in about 40 linemen, 20 on each side of the ball, and because that's where the game is played and that's where the game is won. And we're much better in the trenches. Jaheim Pittman, who you'll talk to later on. He didn't play with us last season. He'll be joining us this year. Keyshawn Mashburn, a true freshman last year, had an outstanding season. Osiris Rhodes. Like I say, all these guys is their first year playing, even though Osiris transferred in here as a junior. And Mashburn was a true freshman. Fleming was a true freshman. Jadarius Cherry was a true freshman. So we had a lot of young youth playing last year on defense, even in the secondary. And all those guys are back, and the experience, I'm telling you, we had a very good spring. Jay-Sean Smalls, our middle linebacker, and he leads the way from a young man from Hunter, Tyler Kennard down in Bowman. He really leads the way for that defense, and I'm excited to see him get out to people this Saturday.
So 29 points per game you gave up last season. You think you can knock that down to what?
I know we can knock it down to at least 15.
That'll win you a lot of ball games.
Yes, sir. I feel confident about it. And sometimes, you have to look at those 29 points they gave up, too. How many were attributed by special teams and turnovers and those kind of things, too. So I don't assess all of it to the defense, even though the majority, they have to shoulder that.
How does your special teams look?
Our special teams, we really love our kicking game with Sam Herman and Trevor Bywater, who was preseason second team all-conference. I think he made second team all-conference last year. Both of those guys are back. So we look to be much improved with that. And like I said, Nanders Lawrence last year was number 2 in the nation in kickoff returns for touchdowns. So special team-wise, we're really looking forward to that.
So you guys practice 5:30 in the morning?
Yes.
So you might be the first football team out on the practice field anywhere in the state at 5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
I'm just kind of guessing here. I know Clemson does afternoon. I know South Carolina does morning, but not that early in other schools. Why 5:30?
Well, my dad always said a man's feet got to be on the floor by 6 a.m.
It does?
So I live by that mantra. Yeah. If you're you're the leader of the house. You got to be up before everybody. You got to go to work. You got to get everything set before everybody get up. So that's how I grew up. That's what I believe. You can't lay in the bed if you want to get something done.
Boy, I tell you what, your dad would have had a hard time with me.
No.
I would eventually learn, huh?
Yeah.
Well, how does it work with your kids? They like it?
Yep. They all begin to take it on. At first, when it's your first year, it's like, oh my God. But by the time week 2 and you realize you have the rest of your day, they start to embrace it, and they really love it.
Are you guys still practicing across the street
Yes,
on that?
Sir. On the turf field.
About 50-yard field?
About 55 yards.
55-yard field in front of the dorm.
Yeah, Higgins Hall.
And people are going to work on Taylor Street. Did they stop and watch or blow their horn at you or anything?
Well, we need them to stop and watch. We love to have a crowd. We want the more people that know about Island football, the better. Hey, if you're driving by in the morning, get you a cup of coffee and stand out there and watch us. No problem.
Yeah.
But, people do pass by all the time going to work, and we steady out there practicing. So that's what we have. That's where we are, and that's what we do.
Do you find that the guys are sharp that early in the morning?
Yes, they are.
You got their attention?
Yes, it's just like anything else. Early in the morning, you are sharp.
Yeah.
So, and their mind is focused and their focus, I don't see any negatives. And I get it. I understand. I talked to some of my buddies, too, about the body, understanding at night that it's time to rest. But I'm telling you, man, I've been practicing like this for a long time. And I know the defending champs don't have any problem. They practice at 532 Miles College over in Alabama, so I spent some time over there.
Yeah.
So 10 championships in 7 years, I think it's okay. So we're trying to mimic that and get to that. That's what we want to get to.
Absolutely. So. You open up with a road game at Morehead State. How about that matchup with those guys?
Looking forward to it, man. An FCS program that we feel like we see where we measure up. Looking forward to it. Not looking forward to the ride, but we're looking forward to the ball game on Saturday. It's going to be about an 8.5 hour ride up to Kentucky. And we're excited about it, man. Our guys were just jumping around this morning because it's game week. Whenever it's game week, it's a different intensity at practice. So just looking forward to seeing my guys play against somebody else, and I know they are too.
How do you feel you'll do in the league this year? Do you feel like this is a team that can maybe move up halfway, if not even higher in the league?
Yes, I definitely, and the kids do too, have all the confidence in the world that our record will be much better than last year. Yes.
Well, this is past your bedtime, right?
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Well, almost.
I appreciate you hanging out here with us.
It's fine, man.
Because we were talking, you were like, 6 at night? I'm up at 4:30 and da-da-da-da-da. But this has been great. I love sitting here in the weight room, and I lifted a few weights while I was, waiting on you guys to get in here, so I bulked up a little bit. So,
coaches normally have 4 working out.
At 4?
Yeah.
In the morning?
Yes, sir.
Working out.
Yeah.
So what time does your staff go home, generally?
Around 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll be here 4:30. You'll work till 4 and cut them loose. You know what? That's not too bad. You got the rest of the afternoon and evening. So what time do you normally hit the rack?
9:30.
9:30.
Yeah, about 9:30. I'm in the bed.
Yeah.
Maybe looking at TV, and then I'm out.
When do you stop looking at video?
About 8.
So you'll go home and watch some video.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
There's nothing on TV now anyway.
No.
I'm waiting on all of the new episodes of Law and Order to come back on. So SVU. So I'm a big SVU fan. So I'm just waiting on that.
Well, we thank you for joining us. We missed you last year because we had your offensive coordinator on and your players, but we thank you for joining us. It's great seeing you and meeting you, and good luck this season. Hope everybody stays healthy and you have a lot of success.
Well, I do too. I look forward to it and can't wait.
Well, we'll keep up with you and talk about you on our show and update things as you go on through the season. So thank you so much. And going to have your 2 players coming in here in just a moment.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
And hopefully at the end of the year, we're the best team in the state.
You might be.
There you go.
You never know. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you. Coach Cedric Pearl here at Allen University. You got to get up early in the morning to outdo these guys. If getting up early means wins, they're going to be right there among the best in their league. So, okay, after the break, we're going to have the 2 players coming in. Jameer Dismukes and Jaheim Pittman. They'll be up next right here from Allen. Be right back.
75 years. One reputation. Too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are. Rookie or vet. Playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
I'm attorney Jim Corbett. That's the sound of a big hit on you and your car or truck. I've been an attorney for more than 30 years, helping people who get injured in car wrecks and truck wrecks. If you have serious injuries, call Jim Corbett, 803-765-2968, or email me at jim@jimcorbettattorney.com. That's Corbett. I don't get paid unless I recover for you. Jim Corbett Attorney, for your best recovery from a big hit, 803-765-2968, or jim@jimcorbettattorney.com.
Traveling can be the worst, especially when you can't find your favorite show. Well, don't worry. We've got the perfect way to keep up with everything happening in the Palmetto State when you're away from home. Just pull up the Chief Sports app on your mobile device, and you can listen live to Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network.
So the next time you can't find us on one of our great radio affiliates, just log on to the Chief Sports app, the best way to stay connected with the Sports Talk Media Network.
There's a lot of things we take for granted in our lives. Your home's AC will run cool. Your drive-through coffee will be hot. And the car will start when it's time to take your kids to school. It's when things don't go as planned that you start thinking about who to call and where to turn. The good thing is, you can prepare for life's most difficult days by calling the Larry Lucas Agency today. Larry is a State Farm agent that has been taking care of people across South Carolina for more than 2 decades. You probably have insurance, but switching is easy, and bundling can save you hundreds or more. Most importantly, the Larry Lucas Agency can help you choose the protection you want at the price you want. All backed by South Carolina's #1 home and auto insurance company. Visit LarryLucasAgency.com today or give Larry a call at 803-799-1998. Like a good neighbor, Larry Lucas State Farm is there.
One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Okay, we're back. Palmetto Pigskin Tour. We're at Allen University tonight, visiting with the Yellow Jackets. Let's welcome in the quarterback, Jameer Dismukes, native of Cleveland, Ohio, and defensive lineman Jaheim Pittman out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Great having you two with us. Got to start with the quarterback. And Jameer, how you feeling? First of all, thanks to both of you because you're both tired, right? You've been up since what time this morning, Jameer? 4 this morning? Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate y'all. Your eyes do look a little heavy. You look a little heavy. How has the practice gone from your standpoint with the offense? How's it looked?
The offense looks good. We brought in the pieces that we feel like we needed, and I feel like we will definitely start faster this season, definitely jump on opponents faster than we did last year.
Can you find – Coach was saying you need about 10 more points a game. Can you find those 10 points somewhere?
Definitely. We revamped the O-line, got some depth at running back, and the receiver core is loaded.
Just how good are you?
I'm as good as Coach allowed me to be. I stay within the scheme of things, and I don't really go off script too much. So as long as the game comes to me, I'm gonna do what I need to do.
I mean, I see where you're getting some HBCU national recognition as one of the quarterbacks to watch. Coming off a year, 19 touchdowns, a quarterback rating of 162. Where do you expect to see improvement in yourself this season?
I feel like my main thing in practice is getting the ball out faster, not so worried about looking for the chunk plays because they're going to come. So just taking what the defense give me, making my reads faster, pre-snap and post-snap.
Jaheim had to sit out last year. I know you're ready to go this year. How anxious are you to get on the field for your first game at Morehead State?
I'm ready. I feel like once I get on the field, once that first play's over with, I'll be back in the business.
Ready to hit somebody.
You know it.
Coach says you're one of the best defensive linemen to come out of North Carolina in your senior year. Tell us about your high school career and how good your senior year was.
I had over 20 sacks, so in the state, I was top 3. I had over 140 tackles. My senior year in high school was really a cakewalk, keep it honest with you. I won almost every defensive player you can win in North Carolina. Yeah, so.
Hard to block.
Impossible.
What makes you impossible to block?
The way I move for my size.
Yeah? Like how?
I'll be right there 1 minute, then I won't be the next. That's how it is. Houdini.
They play you where primarily?
3 tech.
Okay. So you're just quick first step, you blow through offensive linemen?
And I got good reads. How about I say?
What about the defensive front? Coach talked about got a bunch of new guys in, got a deep defensive front, a lot of new players. What do you think of your group?
We won't get tired. The rotation's gonna beat most teams anyway. We won't feel like the second group doing no better or no worse than the first group because we all equal in that stat. So it'll be coming.
So no drop-off?
Nope.
Yeah. Jameer, what about the defense from you working against them in practice? What have you seen from those guys?
I definitely seen that. Well, I see that front every day. So we're not just going to act like the offensive line not holding up, but I feel like with those two clashing every day, it's iron sharpen irons, and it's going to be a good season for sure.
Have you had to run away from this guy?
Definitely.
I mean, like
multiple times.
He can't catch you.
He can't, but within that front, yeah, you got to be careful.
But they don't let you get hit.
Nah. But you know the difference from what'll really happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, they got to let me throw the ball and things like that, but yeah, for the opposing quarterbacks, good luck.
So last year was like Coach said, a close but no cigar kind of thing. You were in a lot of games that you lost. What's going to make the difference this year in winning those games?
Our main thing is one, starting fast, being more consistent, and just the depth. I feel like last year we didn't really have a depth at a lot of positions. Like by week 4 or 5, we had 2 running backs, things like that, and then like Coach said, they loaded that defensive line front up, so it's really going to, like he said, from the ones and twos, it's no drop off, and don't sleep on the threes. Like, it's so many pieces. It's like everybody gonna have that engine for 4 quarters.
Jaheim, defense gave up 29 a game last year without guys like you and others. So what do you think you guys can do this year? How much can you reduce that?
I don't plan on giving up more than 21 a game in general. That's just how I like to play the game. If you keep them on 21, I know my offense going to at least give you 28. That's just how I feel. But
now, Coach said 15.
I want to hold them to a shutout. That's the dream reality. But, you know, most of the time you got to think realistically. And, you know, sometimes mistakes happen. Some people going to score.
Yeah.
But 28, I don't feel like that's going to be this year. Off the simple fact that last year we did have defensive linemen that had to play the whole game, like Anthony. Like, he had to play the whole game a couple times.
Yeah.
We ain't going to have that problem this year.
Depth.
There's no way.
You got depth.
Yep. You got depth at every position, too. So,
Jameer, what's it like when you practice at 5:30 in the morning? What time do you have to get up and get dressed and get to the field?
On the field at 5, but just to get up, prepare my mind, you know, just wake up a little bit. I get up at 4, maybe 4:15 at the latest. You know, get something in my body, get my mind right. Might pace back and forth a few times, things like that. But yeah, definitely before everybody else.
You like it?
Of course, you know, it's part of the journey, so you just gotta appreciate it. We're all blessed to do it, so I don't look at it as a dislike or anything like that.
How about you, Jaheim?
What time do I wake up, or do I like it?
Both.
I wake up around 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this for a while, though, so it's kind of like you get used to it.
I think I can answer the other part for you. You don't seem like you like it.
Yeah, no, I don't like waking up at 5:30. I ain't going to sit here and say I do, but I know it's something I got to do, so I do it, and I make the best of it. So.
Coach seems to like it.
You know, Coach like it.
He seems to thrive. He seems to thrive at it.
Yeah, Coach a morning person for
Coach
sure.
love it.
Guys, thank you so much. I know you're dead tired.
A little bit.
And you got a big day tomorrow in practice. I'm sure it's a big day, final preps before you get ready to hit the road. So good luck this year. We really appreciate you being with us.
Yes,
Hope
sir.
you have a healthy season, a great season, and we'll be keeping an eye on what you guys do.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you having us.
Thank you for coming over.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys. Okay, that's Jameer Dismukes and Jaheim Pittman from Allen University. And we'll be back after the top of the hour.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook plans to sue the Trump administration over her firing. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
Attorney Abby Lowell said that President Trump has no authority to remove Cook. No president has ever fired a Fed governor before, but the president said Cook seems to have had an infraction.
We need people that are 100% above board, and it doesn't seem like she was.
The law that governs the central bank allows for the removal of Fed governors for cause. The Trump administration alleges that Cook committed mortgage fraud. Greg Clugston, Washington.
The Trump administration threatens funding for some states over enforcing English rules for truckers. Correspondent Julie Walker reports.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says California, Washington, and New Mexico could lose federal funding if they continue failing to enforce English language requirements for truckers.
We need to make sure that those who are driving big rigs, semis, can understand the road signs.
An investigation launched after a deadly Florida crash this month involving a truck driver from India who made an illegal U-turn, found what Duffy called significant failures in the way all 3 states are enforcing the rules that took effect in June after one of President Trump's executive orders. I'm Julie Walker.
Crews are cleaning up downed trees and have mostly restored power after a powerful dust storm hit the Phoenix area. The storm was what's known as a haboob. It blackened skies and knocked out electricity for 15,000 customers late Monday afternoon. Drenching rain followed. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 135 points, the Nasdaq rose 94. More on these stories at townhall.com.
They say timing is everything in the gold and silver markets, and it's true. Dennis Prager here for AmFed Coin and Bullion. Although you can buy at the right time, if you buy the wrong coins, you may not make a profit. When gold was $400 an ounce, many people were talked into buying high-grade old gold and silver collector's coins. Unfortunately, most of the people who bought these so-called semi-numismatic coins, like the $20 St. Gaudens and Liberty Head gold coins, have not broken even on their investment. Incredible, given that gold has risen approximately 525% since then. So while timing is everything, if you buy the wrong coins, the timing simply doesn't matter. Having a dealer who cares about positioning you in the right types of coins or bullion will mean more to your portfolio than anything else. That's why I deal with Nick Rovich and AmFed Coin and Bullion. Whether you're buying or selling, call 800-221-7694. That's 800-221-7694. Or go to AmericanFederal.com. AmericanFederal.com.
Representatives from Britain, France, and Germany are set to hold last-minute talks with Iran on compliance with nuclear inspections of its program.
Concerns over the nuclear program have only grown since Tehran cut off all cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency. The Europeans agreed with the US earlier this year to set an end-of-August deadline for invoking the sanctions mechanism if Iran fails to meet several conditions, including resuming negotiations with the US over its nuclear program, allowing UN nuclear inspectors access to its nuclear sites, and accounting for over 400 kilograms of highly enriched uranium. I'm Charles Tilladesma.
Saudi Arabia and Qatar are ready to invest in an economic zone in South Lebanon. The zone aims to create jobs for Hezbollah members and supporters if they disarm. News and analysis at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters.
On-Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. A nice cool evening with a low temperature of 62. Tomorrow we are glorious. Mostly sunshine-filled skies, the high temperature of 84. Thursday, few clouds do roll in, while on Friday we have our best chance of showers, a 30% opportunity we get some afternoon storms. We'll stay in the 80s as our high temperatures for the rest of the week. I'm Cal Moss with your on-point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make the point.
Welcome back to Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network. You can reach the guys with the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number. 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now back to Phil and Chris with the second hour of Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network.
Welcome back, everybody. Sports Talk, hour number 2 on this Talking Tuesday. We're at Allen University. We're in the weight room here at Allen. Just wrapped up our interviews with coach and players, and that completes the Palmetto Pigskin Tour for 2025 as we travel to every school around the state of South Carolina. Of course, we go to Clemson and South Carolina regularly. I'm talking about to do our shows. We went to all the other schools, and we want to thank Palmetto Sports Connections for their sponsorship. Remember to visit the website, discover PalmettoSportsConnections.com. That's discover PalmettoSportsConnections.com. So, if you're a Gamecock fan, you're focused on Atlanta on Sunday. If you're a Tennessee fan, Virginia Tech fan, a Syracuse fan, it's the same thing for this weekend. Hot Atlanta going to be the host to 2 big football games at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Let's welcome in for what may be possibly, probably, our final interview after many, many years of talking with Gary Stokan as the CEO of the various events there in Atlanta, as he's announced his retirement coming up, well, here real soon, I guess, after these games or after the bowl games, we'll find out. But first of all, Gary, welcome back into Sports Talk. It's great to have you with us.
Hey, Phil, great to be with you again. How are you?
We're doing great. Well, I'm doing great. Congratulations to you. Our loss, your gain, because you'll have a lot of free time. What's the story on the retirement deal?
Well, I knew that our contract was ending with the CFP after this semifinal, and I thought with a new contract with the CFP that I would allow my team that's been with me for more than 20 years, in the case of my senior management, take the ball and run with it and hopefully build on the foundation we've been able to lay. So I'll be 71 in March 30th, and so May 26th at the end of our fiscal year, or May 29th, I should say, or no,
Yeah.
May 31st, I'm sorry, May 31st, will be my last day. So although I looked up the dictionary, it said retirement is ceasing to work, quote unquote. And I've never worked a day in my life in 47 years of being in sports, so I won't be able to retire because I've never worked.
I heard that. Well, obviously, and needless to say, so why say it, Corn, you did a fabulous job. It's amazing what you and your team have done in taking the games in Atlanta and making them so big and making them must-see viewing and must-see attending. If you are a fan of one of the teams, you've built this thing in such a mega weekend. You've got, as you walk away eventually, and of course what you've done with the Peach Bowl over all the years, I mean, you got to walk away with a great deal of satisfaction with what you and your folks have accomplished over the decades.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. We've been able to, with the Sports Council, make Atlanta the sports capital of the world, and then with the Peach Bowl, we've now been able to make Atlanta the capital of college football, according to the media. So it's been a labor of love. I've just been blessed to be able to have the best staff in the business, wonderful supportive board, fantastic volunteers who really enjoy providing Southern hospitality to guests. And, when you talk about having all the ingredients in Atlanta, I just was able to be the chef and put together the recipe to, take advantage of all the great things we have in Atlanta. So it's been a great run. Really enjoyed it, and glad we had an impact. It's like these games, these two Aflac kickoff games this weekend will have a big impact on not only the four teams, but the four schools, because we'll donate $50,000 to each school to an endowed scholarship that's earmarked for Title I kids in Georgia or Atlanta, kids that are underprivileged and don't have the money to go to college. So they'll be the first ones in many cases to be the first in their family to go to get a college education. And then we've just announced that we're going to donate $2.5 million to keep the trials going that we've invested $23 million in, that we have 18 trials from neuroblastoma to leukemia to osteosarcoma, all being done, and we want those trials to continue. So we're going to donate $2.5 million to keep those going. And then we're going to donate $100,000 that Aflac's going to match, and we're going to donate all of our raffle 50-50 money to create new trials. So we'll probably raise about $300,000 from this game, as we're calling it a kickoff for a cause. So college football wins, the Arthur Blank Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorders Center wins. And then thirdly, the city of Atlanta wins, that our two games this weekend and our Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl semifinal in January 9th will bring in over $100 million of economic impact, which will translate to about $6 million in actual tax revenues that will go into the city coffers. So, we've created a win-win-win. Anytime you can do that in business, it's successful.
Absolutely. Talking with Gary Stokan. So, think back to where it all started with the Peach Bowl in 68 and 69 at Grant Field, and then Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and then the Georgia Dome, and now the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. How about the evolution of where you've been playing the games over all these years?
Well, I remember going back to 1985 when I was with Adidas. A friend of mine ran the bowl, and I volunteered for him. And one of the things he asked me to do is to help with signage. And I remember at Atlanta Fulton County, coldest day in my life, I'm out there hanging signage for the Peach Bowl. So I served as 12 years as volunteer, and next year will be my 28th year in serving as CEO. So 40 years of my life I've put into, helping the Peach Bowl get to where we've gotten to. So it's been a labor of love, and to see the great impact that we've had, not only with, it'll be close to $70 million that we've given away to charity. But, last 6 years we're second only to the Rose Bowl in attendance and viewership. And along the way, to have the opportunity to be offered the CEO job at the Rose Bowl and turn it down to stay in Atlanta and bring the College Football Hall of Fame here to Atlanta and start the kickoff game format, and then take the bowl from basically the Phoenix in the ashes to where we're at now has been quite enjoyable run.
Absolutely. So let's talk about South Carolina, Virginia Tech matchup coming up. Where does it stand as far as getting to a sellout? And what kind of atmosphere, game are you expecting with the Gamecocks and Hokies kind of renewing a pretty long time rival with one another, going back to their days as independents, and then they were in the Metro Conference, not for football, but in other sports. But they have played each other quite a bit over the years. In fact, South Carolina has not lost to Virginia Tech since 1974. They've had some ties in there, but mostly it's been a one-sided series of late in favor of the Gamecocks.
Well, it's going to be really fun to have Ray Tanner, who's a good friend and classmate at NC State and fellow student-athlete, come into Atlanta and be a part of the Gamecocks, and then to have Frank Beamer and Cheryl Beamer that we're going to honor before the game, because Frank has played in our bowl game, played in our kickoff game, played in our golf tournament, won the Dodd Trophy that we manage and operate, and to have him and Cheryl and to be able to honor them before the game. And then Frank is going to do the invocation of the game as well. And then to have Shane Beamer, Frank's and Cheryl's son, coaching on the other side. You can't write that kind of script up. And, South Carolina, being top 15 in the country, wants to get here 2 more times, one in the SEC championship game, and then follow that up by coming back to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in January in the CFP semifinal game.
So you mentioned the history with Virginia Tech, Frank Beamer, in your games. I'm just trying to put some dates together. Of course, maybe you can recall better than I, but I'm just wondering, Shane was right there with his dad as a child, pulling his headphone cords and all that kind of stuff on the sideline. Did you ever see or meet Shane during any of those games when Virginia Tech was playing in Atlanta?
Well, I know that I met Shane when I went to Virginia Tech to see Virginia Tech play. And I remember that Frank telling me that he told Shane, look, you don't need to coach here at Virginia Tech. You need to get out and make your own way in the world and meet other coaches and serve on other coaching staffs, because you're probably going to get fired, or the head coach you're coaching with is going to be fired. So you need to have some relationships out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Shane going to Mississippi State, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, Oklahoma, and now to have the job at South Carolina and do what, you take the Smarts and the Sweeneys and, the Days out. I don't know if there's a young coach that's done or been as successful as Shane Beamer has in the first 5 years at South Carolina. Shane and Frank and I were able to play golf up there at Lake Oconee. And I just think the world of the Beamer family, all Shane and Frank and Cheryl, they're just such good people. I don't know there's been nicer people or classier people in college athletics that I've met in my 47 years.
Talking with Gary Stokan for a couple more moments here from Atlanta, the Aflac Kickoff Classic. What about the sponsors you've had over the years? I mean, you've had some great sponsors, long-term sponsors. Or sponsors, were they knocking on your door over all these years wanting to get involved, or did you guys kind of have to get out and hunt for them and, plead and beg to get sponsors to jump on board?
We've been very blessed in Atlanta to have such great headquarter companies that really get sports, and they get giving back to the community, which has been a big part of our mission since 1968, as we were the first bowl founded for charity and the 9th oldest bowl game. But in 1997, the year before I came on, I had my own sports marketing company, and I had M&M Peanuts ready to become title sponsor of the Peach Bowl.
Oh.
I've told very few people this.
Oh.
And we were pretty far down the line, and unbeknownst to me, Chick-fil-A stepped in and became title sponsor in 1997. And to this day, they're the longest title sponsor in college football history. We've had, I think, the 25 years, whatever it's been, we've had like 22 sellouts, and they sponsored our kickoff game in the beginning as well. And they also, Truett Cathy, when I went to bring the College Football Hall of Fame to Atlanta, I went to my board and said, look, we got to be the first skin in the game if we're going to go out there and get this done. And so I asked them for $5 million, and my board agreed. And my next call was to Truett Cathy, and I sat down with Truett and said, here's what we're going to do, and we're going to bring the Hall of Fame here. And he said, well, Gary, if it's good for Atlanta, we're in, because we're headquartered in Atlanta. So he donated $5 million. So I started out with $10 million, and they had sponsored our golf tournament. They sponsored our kickoff game. So Truett and Dan and Bubba and now Andrew Cathy have just been wonderful partners. And as I tell people, their food is excellent. Their people are even better. And so they've been the longest title partner we've had in college football history. And then a great meeting I had when we were in New York. I guess it was 2022. We had the Georgia-Oregon game that we were going to do. And the New York Stock Exchange is owned by a company, ICE, here in Atlanta. And they said, well, we want to help kick off the college football, so we're going to let you ring the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. And so we went up there to New York and rang the bell. And as we were coming down the steps, the walls all have autographs of everybody that's been up on that pulpit that you see when they hit the bell. And so we all signed the wall, and we walked down the steps, and Virgil Miller, who was the president of AFLAC, which is based in Columbus, Georgia, was there. They had brought different companies from Georgia who were on the New York Stock Exchange up there. And I was introduced to Virgil, and I said, Virgil, I said, you'd be a great partner for this kickoff game, because Chick-fil-A had just let me know that they needed to sponsor the bowl game, but they needed the money to go somewhere else for the kickoff game money. So I was looking for a new sponsor, and I introduced myself to Virgil, and I said, we have such a community of interest. You're based in Georgia, as are we. You've given $147 million to start the AFLAC Cancer and Blood Disorder Center at the Arthur Blank Hospital in Atlanta. We've given $23 million to fund cures and trials at the AFLAC Cancer and Blood Disorder Center. And September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So I said, there's so much community interest here. We'd love you to be our partner on this game and be the title sponsor. And unbelievably, 2 weeks later, we had a deal. And it's one of my favorite stories in the 47 years of doing business. And so, yeah, AFLAC came on board, and they've been a great partner, and they're going to continue with us as we move forward as well. So, just been blessed to have two great partners like Chick-fil-A and AFLAC that really get it. They support college athletics, and I call it a partnership rather than a sponsorship.
But I've got to ask you, when you you talked to Mr. Caffey and you made the deal, and you said, "Thank you, Mr. Caffey. Really appreciate you coming on board." Did he respond by saying, "My pleasure"?
Yes, he did, and he even went one step further. When I made the pitch, Dan and Bubba, his two sons, were in the room, and myself and Truett, and they put me next to Truett's heart doctor when I made the presentation. And after I made the presentation, Truett said, "Well, Gary, if this is good for Atlanta and we're headquartered in Atlanta, we're going to support this and we're in." And I remember Bubba saying, "Dad, don't you want to talk about this?" And he said, "Nope." He said, "This is where we're headquartered, and so we're going to support our home city and our hometown, and so you got our $5 million." So that was another great experience. So I've been very blessed to, whether it's negotiating a Michael Jordan deal or Magic Johnson or Larry Bird or Kobe Bryant's global marketing campaign or Herschel Walker or Mike Krzyzewski, I've just been very blessed to have access and the opportunity to deal with such great people and great superstars in the world of sports.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How's it looking with the other game, the Syracuse-Tennessee game? You're looking for a sellout there as well?
Yeah, so we got two great ACC-SEC matchups. Both Tennessee and South Carolina being ranked, being the SEC favorites. As I mentioned earlier, they both want to get back here, and we'll probably have 60,000, 65,000 in there for that game, and more than likely a sellout for the Virginia Tech South Carolina game. So to have whatever it is, 130,000 people coming into town over the weekend is pretty good for the tourism industry, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you as always. You've been a frequent guest of ours over the years, and always great to visit with you. And we'll see you this weekend, and we'll see you maybe in the postseason. Maybe perhaps I'll see you over at Murphy Candler watching a little League baseball. But I hope things go well for you this weekend, and we always appreciate you being on with us.
Well, Phil, thanks so much for all these years of support of us and myself and having me on your shows. Appreciate what you do for college football, and hope to see you over here this weekend. And, yeah, with the 9, 8, 7, and 5-year-olds all playing over Murphy Candler, I'll be coaching them up a little bit over there. So look forward to seeing you.
Thank you, sir. Great talking to you, and congratulations on everything.
Phil. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. All right, Gary Stokan. What a career. What a career. He was he played basketball at NC State in the mid-'70s, played a little bit. And as you heard him say, he and Ray Tanner were buddies, and he always wanted to get South Carolina in his kickoff game, and it took a little while. But I guess it's appropriate because of his relationship with Tanner that as he's hanging it up, he's getting the Gamecocks in for one of those kickoff ball games this weekend. Okay. Appreciate him being with us. Let's hit the break, and we'll come back. A couple of recruiting notes. Then we'll talk some Darlington because it's time. It's time for the playoffs. It's time for the Cookout Southern 500 at Darlington. We'll be joined coming up after the break by Josh Harris, president of Darlington. Then some comments before we leave you tonight from Brian Kelly, head football coach at LSU, as he gets his Tigers ready to take on the Clemson Tigers Saturday night in what is around here the real Death Valley as we know it. That's coming up. Don't go away. Be right back.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at sccattle.org. Beef, it's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff program.
Straight Up Sports is simply all sports, all the time. Straight Up Sports is a collection of retired and award-winning sports writers and sports broadcasters from around South Carolina. Like Bob Gillespie from the State Newspaper, Scott Kiefer from the Greenville News, and Mark Sturgis from ESPN Upstate. Straight Up Sports is about the stories, just like the days gone by with no editors nor managers involved. Check us out on Facebook or Twitter or online at straightupsports.net.
The Sports Talk Recruiting Report is sponsored by Seawell's Catering.
Okay, give you a couple of quick recruiting notes brought to you by Seawell's. Make sure you get over to Seawell's rest of this week for the daily luncheon buffet from 11 till 2. I'm certainly going to try to get over there, especially for the Roast Beef Friday. It's absolutely the best buffet in the Midlands, and the best catering business in South Carolina is also Seawell's. Just give them a phone call for more information at 803-771-7385, online at SeawellsCateringSC.com. They'll host your event at their location, Rosewood Drive, or they will come to you. 803-771-7385 is the number. South Carolina with an offer out today to 2027 athlete James Bubba Bethay, 6'1", 190, of Ocala, Florida. Some of the other offers for him include Louisville, Washington, and Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Oregon State. Also Houston, Duke, Rutgers, Alabama, Nebraska, Missouri, Georgia Tech, Auburn, Tennessee, Miami, Georgia. Coastal Carolina offered him a little while back. So as you can tell, a very heavily recruited prospect in the 2027 class. And he gets the offer from South Carolina. And 2027 safety Marquise Bryant of Rolesville, North Carolina. He plans to be at Clemson on Saturday. He's had the Tigers among his top 6, and he'll be one of the unofficial visitors at Clemson Saturday for their game with LSU. The Tigers will no doubt have a packed group of prospects from the 27 class. Not so sure any in the 26. Might have one or two in the 26 who are uncommitted, but primarily they'll have guys in for the 27 class for sure. And there'll be some folks, some recruits that South Carolina's invited to their game in Atlanta who'll be in attendance for that as well. Okay, that's recruiting. Back in just a moment.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast, a nice cool evening with a low temperature of 62. Tomorrow we are glorious, mostly sunshine-filled skies, the high temperature of 84. Thursday, few clouds do roll in, while on Friday we have our best chance of showers, a 30% opportunity we get some afternoon storms. We'll stay in the 80s as our high temperatures for the rest of the week. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
Palmetto State Armory is on a mission of making freedom available to all Americans. And with retail stores across South Carolina and a fully stocked online shop, we're delivering freedom coast to coast. PSA is an American-made and veteran-owned firearms company built for those who believe in the Second Amendment and the strength of self-reliance. From suppressors, firearms, ammo, and accessories to fishing gear and apparel, we're more than a gun company. We're a movement. Visit us in store or online at PalmettoStateArmory.com. Palmetto State Armory, American-made for life.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The White House says a judge's decision to throw out the Trump administration's lawsuit against all federal judges in Maryland is a direct assault on the president's ability to enforce immigration laws. White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson says Tuesday's ruling by U.S. District Judge Thomas Cullen will not be the final say on the suit. The administration has filed a notice of appeal. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook's lawyer says she'll sue President Trump's administration to try to prevent him from firing her. Longtime Washington attorney Abby Lowell said Tuesday that Trump has no authority to remove Cook. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 135 points, the Nasdaq rose 94, the S&P advanced 26. More details at srnnews.com.
I don't know too many folks out there who love paying taxes, but what about getting tax credit? That's appealing, right? My buddy Ken at Broker Solar is in the tax credit business. How would you like a solar battery that helps do two things? First, it serves as an instant generator the moment the power cuts out, and it doesn't even require gasoline. Secondly, it lets you take some control back from the power companies. Yeah, you can use solar power during the peak hours when your power company wants to charge you the most. Oh, and that tax credit on solar batteries, you can get a 30% tax credit right now. This is a phenomenal time to reach out to Ken. He'll come out to your home or your business. He'll give you a comprehensive free estimate, answer any questions. Solar isn't free, but you need to take advantage of those credits when they do come around. Call Ken right now. Save on a solar-powered battery. Online, find him at brokersolar.com or just call Ken, 807-7417. That's 807-7417, Broker Solar.
Hi, it's Mary Catherine
and Thomas from Louisiana Purchase, inviting you to start your day sweet with beignets and coffee from 9 to 11.
Treat yourself to lunch at Louisiana Purchase and find one-of-a-kind gifts you won't see anywhere else.
Stop by Cypress Market for gourmet meats, cheeses, fine wines, and ready-to-go items.
Give your weddings, graduations, holidays, and office parties Southern flair with our catering and custom charcuterie.
Visit Louisiana Purchase, your taste of the South, all in one stop.
LouisianaPurchase.com.
It's painting season in the Midlands, and Southern Palmetto Painting and Renovation sets the tone for inspired living. Watch your home change from ordinary to outstanding with colors that liven every wall and craftsmanship you can trust. Michael and his team are fully licensed, bonded, and insured. They care for every detail inside and out of your home. Let's give your home the style and care it deserves. Call 922-5615. Southern Palmetto Painting and Renovations, where every project reflects pride.
Hey y'all, it's Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We're introducing the Wing and a Prayer Wednesday special. Purchase an order of wings and a drink and get a free gift card for the arcade. We have some of the most mouth-watering jumbo wings like flamethrower hot wings, barbecue wings, teriyaki wings, honey mustard wings, terry hot wings. You can get a half dozen for $9.95 or a dozen for $18.95. Served with celery and choice of dressing. So come join us at Flight Deck Restaurant to enjoy some great jumbo wings and lots of fun in our new and improved arcade. And we at Flight Deck Restaurant, thank y'all, and God bless.
Want to hear my success story? I'm Fran Halloran, the money coach. I'm celebrating a decade of partnering with The Point. It's one of the best decisions I ever made. I've used The Point to significantly grow my small business. It started with a meeting with Kevin Cohen. Do you own a small business? Are you on a limited budget? No problem. Reach out to Kev at 563-8558. Get a customized plan and start your journey to business growth with The Point today. Success is one call away. Take the leap.
Okay, folks will be arriving in Darlington County beginning tomorrow, I would imagine, as it's time for the playoffs. It's time for the Cookout Southern 500. And let's welcome in Josh Harris, president of Darlington, once again. We'll talk about your event in just a moment because we want to get all the final details. But, man, what a race at Daytona. I mean, that's the kind of race that you expect. Daytona, Talladega, now maybe Atlanta, those kind of pack races. And, man, you're on the edge of your seat. You're standing up, watching those guys dance around there and no idea who's going to win. And is a new guy going to win and bump Alex Bowman out or a previous winner? I mean, just what a finish and what great drama.
Yeah, the Daytona race really delivered this week. And that's two back-to-back races. We've gotten some great fan sentiment coming out of, and just watching. Richmond was a great race, had great tire wear, tire fall off. We had Austin Dillon win, and go to Daytona, have great racing throughout the evening. A lot of drama that is, created by that kind of racing, but you never really know what's going to happen. Unfortunately, Alex Bowman got caught up in a crash that really wasn't, much of his doing, and kind of had to sweat it out there at the end. You had Ryan Blaney taking the win. There were, in that final shot, there were 7 cars near the start-finish line. 5 of them, had they won, would have locked themselves into the playoffs and knocked Bowman out. But Ryan Blaney prevailed, second win of the year, and then it locks in Alex Bowman to the playoffs. So sets it all up for Darlington this weekend.
What do you think of the playoff field?
Well, I think it's really strong. You've got from top to bottom, no one really stands out right now as just dominating that you could say, yeah, that guy is definitely, going to make it to the Final Four. You look through the season, it's kind of had some ebbs and flows to it. You got a guy like Denny Hamlin who's won 4 times, but he hasn't won them all at one time. He's kind of been consistent throughout the year, so that's probably a good thing. Christopher Bell won 3 in a row at the beginning of the year. Kyle Larson's won 3 races. Obviously, Shane Van Gisbergen's been really strong on the road courses, so he'll have to test himself the first round to get with 3 oval tracks. But if he's able to advance into that round of 12, there's the Roval there in that round, and if he goes down there and wins, he could put himself in the final 8. So I think it's a wide open field, a lot of excitement, a lot of depth from top to bottom. You got all 4 Hendrick cars, you got 3 Gibbs cars, three of the Penske cars, plus Josh Berry with the Wood brothers, 2 of the 2311 cars. So man, it's a strong field for sure.
Who is your personal wild card? I would say my personal wild card, based on what we've seen from him this season, and he had a good run going at Daytona until he got mixed up in something. My wild card pick is Bubba Wallace.
I think that's a good wild card pick. He's run well, especially lately. Obviously got caught up in the accident in Daytona, but he had a good run going at Richmond the weekend before. He's won. He's come close several times. I think that's a good pick. I'm going to stay close to that and say his teammate Tyler Reddick. Tyler did not get a win yet this season, but he made the Final Four last year. A guy that I think everyone expected to get a win this year already. He locks himself in on points, and they've been close. They're just searching for some of that consistency. So to me, he's a driver that's very capable, has shown speed. If that team puts it all together, you could see him jump up here, get a couple of wins in the playoffs, and advance right through. Okay, let's talk about your place. When do the parking lots too tough to tame open up for the RVs and those folks? We opened them up at 9 o'clock this morning, Phil. It's already starting to get jam-packed in here. I'd love to see the excitement on our campers' faces when they're waiting out there at 9 o'clock. We went out and visited with a lot of them. We do first camper flags for 4 of our different campgrounds on property. It was great to see those fans. And I was just out there. We wrapped up a meeting, and there's still more of them coming through the gate. So everything's open. We're open for business. We got a big night tomorrow with track laps for charity, and then a whole slate of events leading up to the Cookout Southern 500 on Sunday night.
How do they entertain themselves over the next, let's see, we got Wednesday, we got Thursday, and then I guess things start to cook on the track, maybe some on Friday. How do these folks entertain themselves? A lot of tailgate-type games?
Oh, yeah, a lot of tailgating. Some of them will set up pools on their campsite. The good thing about camping at a NASCAR race, you get to know your neighbors really well. You get to hang out. For some folks, this is just their way of vacationing, so they're relaxing, hanging out by the camper. And then as things get busier and busier, you'll see people out mingling. There's a lot of things for people to do around town, getting out, eating some of our restaurants, visiting places they're around town, around PD, maybe going over to the beach. So lots of things for people to do, and really it's all about the community and the campgrounds, grilling out, having maybe a beverage or two if that's what you want to do, and just enjoying the nice early fall weather we have too. How about that?
Feels great. So what about the track? Anything I'm not going to ask anything new because I know there's nothing new, but the typical cleanup, the typical paint jobs, anything maybe you've done a little bit different this time around?
It's really a lot of just making sure everything's finalized. The painting is getting wrapped up right now, getting all those logos painted on the track, on the wall, getting everything looking crisp and pristine before the cars hit the track this weekend. Outside the track, we spend a lot of time just making sure there's plenty of signage so fans know where they're going, what's going on around here. I think those are some of the things you'll see as fans start to make their way to Darlington this week.
Looking like a sellout?
We're trending. We need a good week of sales this week, as we always do, but the weather forecast is looking like Chamber of Commerce weather. I walked out of my house this morning. It was in the mid-60s. I thought, man, is this really August? But I tell you what, after the heat wave we had in July, I'm going to take it, and we will take this one all the way through the weekend. Looking forward to it. Some tickets still remain, darlingtonraceway.com. But I have a good feeling by the time we get to Sunday and drop the green flag, it's going to be a packed house.
Let me take a look at my paid-for weather app, which you might recall did not have a very promising forecast for you when we checked it a while back. Let's see. We're looking at it says here, AM showers, mostly cloudy, 84 degrees on Sunday with wind about 10.5 miles an hour, 66% precipitation. That's really kind of the Columbia area, but maybe you've got a better forecast than I do.
Yeah, we've got some folks that keep up with the weather across all of our tracks and give us some updates every day. Right now, looks like this little system is going to sit here, give us some nice weather. Might get a little bit of weather Wednesday or Thursday night, but it's looking good for the weekend. We'll have some periods of cloud as well as sunshine, and it'll be a nice, comfortable day, especially for August. And we'll keep that rain away from us.
Let's hope so. So take us through pre-race activities, what the fans can enjoy either as they're walking up and down pit road or sitting in their seats.
Well, yeah, Saturday and Sunday are going to be, real busy, both out in the fan zone and on the track. Just kind of run through our Saturday. We've got, obviously, the Cup Series going to be doing their practice and qualifying before the Sober Slammer 200 at noon. But after the race, stick around. We're going to have a little post-race concert in the fan zone featuring a group called Blair's West, and that really sets us up, gives us time to get everything ready for the Terrence Caraway Memorial 5K on Saturday at 5:30. You can still go out there, register on our website, sign up. It's a great opportunity to come and either walk or run around the track Too Tough to Tame, and obviously all the proceeds go to the Terrence Caraway Memorial Foundation. So a great opportunity there. And then on Sunday, everything kicks off. We're going to open the parking lots early, come tailgate. The fan zone will be open at noon. There's everything from the kids zone to the NASCAR experience, where we'll have a lot of Q&As taking place, a lot of vendor partners out there that are eager to interact with our race fans and give you some cool stuff when you stop by, some historic cars. We're going to have a pre-race concert featuring Kip Moore on the start-finish line at 4 o'clock, so if you want to get up close for that, plus driver introductions, those pre-race experience passes are still available for $35. And then it all sets the tone for the Cookout Southern 500 at 6 o'clock on Sunday evening. Man, I can't wait.
Flyover?
Looking at a flyover with the 169th Fighter Wing out of the Joint Air National Guard McIntyre over in Columbia. So looking forward to a great flyover. We got a 50-50 raffle for the first time. So whether you're at the track or anywhere in the state of South Carolina, you can go to Darlington Raceway 50-50. Get your chance to win some cash and support a great cause with Darlington Raceway's Darlington Shares Foundation.
That's awesome. And Sports Talk, we're going to be there Thursday. Going to be there Thursday night at the at the museum right there, the National Motorsports Hall of Fame. Right there.
Yeah, the NMPA Hall of Fame and the Darlington Raceway Stock Car Museum.
Yep, right there at the track. So looking forward to being there. I think Cole Custer is going to be one of our guests. I'm sure we'll see you. So good luck as things start to happen at your place. Have a great next couple of days, and we'll see you Thursday.
Sounds good. See you Thursday, Phil. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Josh. Take care. Okay, Josh Harris. Things are happening in Darlington County. To the break we go. We do have our interview with that I did the other day with Chase Briscoe. I think we'll hold that till tomorrow. I think I want to get to the Brian Kelly after the break. They're playing soccer up at Clemson, South Carolina and Clemson. Tigers with a 1-0 lead in the 33rd minute. And we'll be back. We're with Major Billy Downer of the Department of Natural Resources. Major Downer, let's say I'm out in the woods or I'm on the water and I need to reach a DNR agent. How do I do that?
Operation Game Thief, Phil. It's been around 30-plus years. You can call us at our 24-hour hotline any time of day, 1-800-922-5431. To report wildlife violations or to get help if you're in trouble in the woods or on the water, call us at Operation Game Thief, 1-800-922-5431.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
Hi, Phil Kornblut here with our good friend George Bryan III, heard every Friday night on Birdies, Bogeys, and Biceps right here on Sports Talk. George, the Tsunami Bar, a very valuable tool for golfers. Why is that?
Well, the first thing that I say is the tempo. It's the only tool out there that allows the study of tension right from the first grab to be expressed, and rhythm and tempo is what makes the bar work, and it gives you something awfully special to keep those hands soft and get that rhythm going.
Learn more about Tsunami Bar technology by clicking on the digital ad on our website, SportsTalkSC.com, and save 5% by purchasing online using the promo code BBB5.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love. And you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
Life insurance isn't for you. It's for those you love the most. For a complete insurance review, call Buddy Bridges in Lawrence County at 864-923-2174, serving Lawrence, Clinton, and the shores of Lake Greenwood.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
Looking to make life simple and save money? Transfer your credit card balance to a Founders credit card and take advantage of our balance transfer rates as low as 2.99% APR. Plus, you'll pay no balance transfer fees. Now through September 30th, save more and stress less with this limited time offer. Promotional rate expires 6 months from the date of the transaction. Then effective APR of 13.25% to 17.90% will apply. For more details, visit foundersfcu.com/cc. Membership qualification required.
They lay it all bare. Competition fierce, but respect, it's there. Shane Beamer, his voice rings loud and clear. In South Carolina, he's leading the team near. Dabble Swinney with his fiery passion. In Clemson, he's got the fans in a sensation. On Talking Tuesday, they their game plan.
All right, just a minute. Brian Kelly, LSU. Today, South Carolina released their non-conference men's basketball schedule after they play an exhibition against NC State in Greensboro, North Carolina, October 26th. Regular season opener at home against North Carolina A&T, November 4th. Home game November 9th against Southern Miss. 3 days later, home against Presbyterian. 6 days later, home against Radford. November 21st, they'll play Butler up in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. 2 days later, they will play Northwestern in that Greenbrier tip-off. November 28th, home to Charleston Southern. December 2nd, Virginia Tech in the ACC-SEC Challenge. Then home games in December, Stetson and the Citadel, up to Clemson on the 16th, South Carolina State at home on the 22nd, and Albany at home on December 30th. Then it's on to the SEC. Speaking of the SEC, Clemson, 3-7 in their last 10 games against SEC opponents. And they get one on Saturday. LSU, Brian Kelly, who needs a win to open the season, something he hasn't done yet at LSU, and he knows all about that. And at his press conference this week, talked about his team and getting ready to head to Clemson.
Great to be back. Obviously, it's game week. Everybody's excited. Excitement is a part of college football and passions. We've got a passionate fan base. They have high expectations. We have high expectations. But like I've said to you, we've been working on this since January. After our Baylor win, the bowl game, we went to work on our roster, our process in developing this football team, so that when we get to these moments, right, it's having a team that is confident, that plays the game the right way in a hostile environment. Many would say composure, maturity, and they've got to play with great competitiveness. Each and every play is going to be important for us. So, when you're putting together the DNA of a football team, it's not just about talent acquisition. It's making sure that you have the pieces necessary to compete in those moments, right? When there's a turnover, when there's sudden change, when momentum's not going your way, what's the makeup of your team? And so I like the makeup. But I want to have this conversation with you after the game, that we competed the right way, right? That our composure was amazing. And we played with great confidence. That's the post-game remarks that we want. But that's why we play the game. But my point being is that we've been at this and working at this and developing these things within our football team for the past 9 months. Now let's go play against a really good team on the road, in what will be a very alive atmosphere, one that is difficult to duplicate. So you make sure you recruit the right guys. And this is a team that we were very intentional about in terms of going out and getting mature players that can stand up to those moments. So, look, I could give you a litany of things about who's ranked who and what they say about them. It's about going out and playing. And all of this preparation needs to lead into the three things that I just mentioned in our performance. Clemson, obviously, a top-ranked team. Whatever poll you're looking at, it's a top 5 team. They reached the CFP. I know Coach very well. 13 seasons at 10 wins. They're the epitome of consistency at the highest level. I think everybody talks about their defensive players in particular, but offensively, Cade Klubnik is, I think, a quarterback that played his best ball at the end of the year, and is a dual threat. 3 seasons as a starting quarterback, we've made a lot of that in terms of how important it is to come back for a second year. He's coming back for his 3rd year, which I think says a lot about him. Peter Woods, obviously a guy that we're going to have to deal with inside. Parker off the edge is going to require a lot of attention, or they're going to ruin your day. Offensively, I've mentioned Cade, who we have a lot of respect for, but a veteran offensive line coming back, playmakers on the outside. Williams and Wesco are outstanding receivers. So you guys already know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. This is going to be a great challenge, one that we're excited about, one that we're up for. Any goal that you put out there, It's not worthwhile unless it's a challenge. And so this will be a great challenge that our kids are excited about.
Seeing them from afar, it appears that their run game is something that they're figuring out, right? What do you see in their run game, and how much, as you mentioned, does Cade factor into that? And do you need to be prepared?
Well, he's I would say central to their run game. And look, I mean, you can go back to last year's Texas A&M game. We didn't handle ourselves very well, or the Alabama game, whoever you want to point out. South Carolina, I could keep going. I'd like to stop right there. We didn't do a very good job against the running quarterback. So it's important that we contain him within the run game. Look, he's going to do things outside the realm. That's what he does. He's really good at that. We got to keep him in the pocket and make him operate from the pocket. But their run game is certainly part of what they do. But, you know, they've got a lot of things from an offensive standpoint that you have to defend, and there's only a few things you can do. You want to play fast. You want to play physical. You want to make sure that you don't give up the big shots. They like to get big shots down the field. And then you've got to stop the quarterback from really hurting you run the ball. That's kind of central to what we're looking at.
Brian, can you clarify on Garrett from Saturday? He didn't throw any passes. Why?
Yeah, when you get into the camp situation, we have I know it's not a great analogy, but we have a pitch count where we want to take our quarterback's load off, and all the installation was in, Matt. We were done with installation. So this was just more throwing. We wanted to wait and get into Clemson in game week. And so he'll be out there on Tuesday, practicing full.
And then opponent not.
Okay, comments from LSU coach Brian Kelly heading into the Clemson game. High school football last night, as you know, quite a number of games in the Charleston Lowcountry area. In case you didn't see the finals, Fort Dorchester beat Beaufort 17-6. North Myrtle Beach over Goose Creek 30-8. Somerville in a shootout beat Stratford 35-30. North Charleston over Military Magnet 24-0. Hampton County 59, Colleton County 13. Academic Magnet 28, Patrick Henry 7, Berkeley 35, Ashley Ridge 21. Wando beat Sacastee 21-8. James Island over Gray Collegiate 24-8. Hanahan topped Philip Simmons 40-34. So those are those scores from last night as they were catching up on those games that were postponed from Friday night. So that is going to do it for tonight. Thanks to the folks here at Allen, coach and players for coming over. Good luck to them this coming season. Hope you've enjoyed all our visits around the state of South Carolina. We've certainly enjoyed bringing them to you. Oh,
Bad
tomorrow
news.
night, back in the studio.
We changed the locks. You can't get back in, Phil.
Oh, great move. Have a great night, everybody. See you tomorrow.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer Sizzle starts